I talked to him a little, and he was doing okay, and he offered either an alcoholic or a recovering alcoholic. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, people, if you can get her up.
I'm definitely.
Masterclass is about to start.
Wednesdays after 5. If I don't have because that's sometimes I have practice here with Frederick.
No, he might have been drugs. I don't know.
Like every other way. So definitely, I'll send you. I don't know your program, and then I can send you a text. So yeah, we can actually.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Michel, your ping pong buddy, just like this hat says. Welcome, everyone. So today we're going to do a little bit something different. The past master classes has been mostly about racket and hits and stuff like that. So today we decided to be a little bit different. We're going to do footwork. And you'll see Victor is going to make sure that realize that footwork is very important. So Victor is a new coach with us. Yeah, come here. Okay. Meet Victor. Thank you. So Victor was a member of the Cameroonian national team. He played with the Belgium Division B League for how long? 3 years. 3 years. And then he has more than 10 years of coaching experience in Cameroon, Europe, and Canada. So I leave it to Victor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, I'm Victor. I know most of you might not know me because I'm barely in Ottawa, about 7 months. I was from Montreal, where I also coach in Montreal, and I just moved to Ottawa. And table tennis has always been a passion for me. I started playing in the garage when I was still very young. I've played table tennis for more than 20 years now, and coaching as well. I actually work with many coaches, foreign coaches. Back in Cameroon, where I played with national team, we competed in Africa, like African tournaments. Went to Europe, I played with Belgium Division B League, which is quite good, where we traveled as well, competed in different countries in Europe. And I developed the interest in coaching and wanted to pass on what I've learned all through those years to others who can also benefit and enjoy the game, be it for competition-wise or just recreation. So I'm absolutely honored to be here today to share with you guys a little bit of the fundamental that I consider in table tennis is the footwork, because everything starts, we don't actually see that most of the time. We don't see what happens on the table. But what the mechanism that actually goes on there is very, very paramount to developing your game, be it in advancing or just for recreational reasons, just to enjoy the game. Your movement that goes on there. And most of the time, we don't even pay attention to that. We are not conscious about what is going wrong. We're only conscious about the errors we do commit, but we don't know it actually originates from somewhere. We pay little or less attention about it. So I'm going to actually, at the end of the session, probably we'll learn some new things, like what are we doing wrong, what is footwork, and how can we improve our skills or our foot technique. So basically, footwork, in order to get the basic footwork, it depends on your stand in table tennis. Most of us, we just walk to the table, what I've noticed, and if you just want to play, you just like stand upright, and so long as you can get the balls across, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. At a certain level, when you play from level to level, you actually realize there's a big difference in what you are actually doing and what you should be doing, actually, which is the right stance in table tennis, the basic position, which most of the time we always say you have to have a low center of gravity. You should not like stand upright, because when you stand upright, first of all, you lose your balance. You're not well balanced, which means movement from one point to another becomes difficult, and at times you might go there, but the way you actually get to those balls makes a whole lot difference. Your execution, your timing, your accuracy, and the efficiency in sending those balls across means a lot for your opponent as well, because you're not just playing for yourself. So without much ado, we're actually going to begin with the basic stand, which is recommended for everyone playing table tennis. You should have your legs a little bit wide open, a little bit wider than your shoulder length, just to actually have balance, because that is a key component in table tennis, you having the balance first. And your knees a little bit bent so that you can actually lean forward. You're not actually standing upright. And your legs, most of the time, some people ask, I've met players who ask the question, how do I stand? How do I position my legs so that I have balance and stability in executing a proper shot across the table? Some people, you just, if you stand like straight, your legs are straight to one another, you don't actually have that balance, because you cannot easily move from left to right, or you cannot move forward easily. You tend to lean, or to lean from left to right without having stability. But when your legs will normally the regular way of standing, which is recommended, is that your legs are sideways. Your left, if you're a forearm player, definitely you stand sideways. So you have that stability. You can actually lean forward, you can lean backward without any problem. But if you stand like straight on, to me it's awkward if I'm standing straight. Yeah, if you want to like defend, you're a defensive player, you can actually position your legs straight on, where you have a good stability on the ground to defend balls from all angles. But when you want to move from one point to the other, it's always recommended to have your legs sideways. If you're a forearm player, for example myself, if I always position myself like this, I know it's very easy for me to move from left and to move right and to move backward. If I'm standing straight, it's difficult for me to move backward. I don't coordinate my steps that much. So the very first and most used footwork pattern that everyone uses, from beginners to professional, and the only difference is actually in terms of speed, how fast you get to your balls, how you've practiced or trained your footwork to actually carry you from one end of the table to the other, is the shuffle. They call it the shuffle, or side by side footwork, where you move from, if you want to go right, you move from left to right, and you want to go left, you move from right to left. And how do you actually do that? That is the question most people as well ask. That, do I move my left leg? Which leg should I move first? Which leg should I move second? So feel free to interrupt me if you have questions. I'll be willing to address that as well. So if, for example, I want to move with the shuffle, we are actually doing the shuffle step. If I want to move from left to right, okay, to play a forearm stroke, definitely they always say you move your outer leg first than the inner leg. So in order to move from this to this, my left leg, definitely, it comes this way, one step, and I move the right leg to the other direction. But it would depend, that actually depends on where the ball is coming, where the direction of the ball is, where the ball is directed to. For example, if I'm standing here, okay, and a ball is actually at this position, I don't need to replace. Some people say you move the left leg to the right leg, and you move the right leg this way. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Theoretically, yes, but technically, I don't have to make that wide movement in order to execute a shot, which is just here. If I'm standing here, I'll do just this. I move my left leg here and my right leg there to actually have that swing, this easy swing and ball contact. I don't need to move my left leg to my right leg and my right leg this way in order to do that, because I need to recover, which is a very, very important component after your stroke. How do you get there? And after the execution, how do I recover to get ready for the next stroke? Where should I put myself in a better position where the next stroke will become much easier for me to execute? So with the shuffle, it's basically you shuffle right, you shuffle left. You shuffle right, you go left. And you see, your leg actually doesn't replace the other leg. The outer leg, it moves like in a straight line, because you don't move backward, but you move like this. and I move this way. This one goes back, this one stays on a straight line. So that is actually the difference between those two different kind of movement, the left and sideways movement, which most people call it the shuffle movement. So is there any question about the shuffle footstep, which is basically used in...
Okay, so you do the shuffle, but because your right leg is usually a little bit behind your left leg, right? Mm-hmm. So when you shuffle, you just recreate that same position. You don't put yourself in a parallel position, right?
If I understand your questions correctly, that I just shuffle my left leg to my right leg, and my right leg to the other side, right?
Yeah.
Like I said before, it depends on where the ball is actually going towards. For example, if I'm here to actually execute a shot, the ball is just here. I don't need to move my leg that wide. I'll be in the middle. The ball will actually be here, directly towards me, and it becomes very difficult for me to make a move on it. But if I'm here and the ball is there, I just need to move a little bit. This leg just moves here, and I can play the ball with ease here. I don't need to move, just shuffle the whole length to actually get the ball, because the ball might meet me.
You always recreate the right foot a little bit behind the left foot.
Exactly.
That's the question.
Exactly. That is what you have to always do, because it's a coordinated movement. The both legs, they move together. With a shuffle, the both legs move together and they move backwards together. Unless you want to do the one step, which is another foot movement that is normally practiced as well. After the shuffle, most people definitely, if you have a ball, for example, with the one-step footwork, if, for example, I'm in the middle of the ball, and I have a ball which is going out of the court, I don't need to shuffle at times. If it's not going that far from me, I don't need to shuffle. I just need to move my right leg one step, and I reach to the ball and execute and return. The difference in movements and executing shot is how quickly can you get to those balls, execute your shot, and simulate where you actually think the next ball is coming and get yourself to that ready position. That is a little bit complex and difficult for people to do that in a game at the same time. But with practice, constant practice, you definitely come to get all of those skills put together without even thinking about it. You're doing all of those things. But the essence is, how quick can I get to those balls with the right footwork, with a solid balance, where I can quickly think on what I have to do, or what stroke, either a top spin, a back spin, or a smash that I want to actually put on that ball and send over to my opponent, so that he has little or less time to recover. Because you're playing against someone, you want him to also be running all over, and you're taking advantage of that. So that is the essence of shuffling, getting quick to those balls, executing in such a way that you can anticipate the return, and you start moving to where you know the ball is going to, and you prepare for your next shot, and you execute as well. So it is a coordinated movement, whereby both legs, they move together. What I find some players do is, after execution, you shuffle correctly. You execute, and you remain on the same spot. You stand on the same spot, and you're waiting, will the ball actually go where I want it to go, or will my opponent reach to that ball? And there's a whole lot of options that you're giving your opponent to actually. He doesn't even need to worry much. You just need to put the ball there, and you keep running. Now you get yourself confused. The footwork gets mixed up, and if you're not an advanced player, you can adapt to changing situations to actually fit what players do run. Professional players, they do certain kind of footwork which is definitely not technically correct, but they can quickly adapt. Whenever they find themselves in difficult situations, they adapt quickly and get back everything together. But for a beginner or someone who is not an expert, it's always good to make sure you don't have your legs planted on the same spot. You should try as much as possible to put your weight on your toes so that you all the time ready to move from one point to the other. Always remember to return. Probably if you can anticipate, make sure you return to the middle of the table where you can reach either to the right or you can reach either to the left. So that is with the shuffle footstep. And the next is absolutely like I was explaining, the one-step footwork, where you definitely do just one step. Mostly it happens when you have a short ball, if you're actually outside, and you have a short service that you want to receive. Most of the time I see players, because you don't pay attention to those errors, you keep doing it over and over and you get frustrated during a game because you don't actually know what you're not doing right and how you can correct it. So most people might use the left leg. If a ball is going to the left side of the table, I don't have to. It's wrong to use my right leg to flick because I'm already stuck. At this point, I can't move that easily. If the ball is being sent directly towards me, I have to make 3 more steps in order to return that ball back. But if I'm standing here and you give me a ball there, I do that, I can easily return. I have all of the space to swing and get ready for the next shot. So that's actually the one step. You move in and you return. You can easily return, you have balance, and you can play the next shot with ease. The same thing with the right. You move in, you return, and you wait for the next shot. You're ready. And they say you can move in, out, backward, especially for defenders, people who defend most. They can definitely move behind and either backspin or move behind one step, move forward, just like that. They mostly use one-step defenders. They don't actually use shuffle that much. They either one step defend, one step return. And with the one step as well, you can move to the left and actually return the ball back. And you can move to the right if you don't actually have the time to shuffle, because at times it becomes so quick that the reaction time is slow, that you cannot shuffle all the time, shuffle all the time. When I'm here, the reaction time, I don't really have much time. I just move one step. My left leg stays down, it's planted. I execute, I anticipate where the ball is going, where the next ball will actually come towards me. I anticipate and I move. I'm ready for the next shot. If it's there, I don't have to shuffle and do that if I don't have the time. If the ball is so slow that I have all the time to think about what to do, I will shuffle. I know I'll have better balance to execute the shot. But if I don't actually have, I just do my one step, I play, I return. Ready position, I'm here, I'm ready for the next shot. No matter where he puts it, I can shuffle and still return the ball. So in any case, the most important thing is actually your return to the ready position. No matter how quick you are, no matter how quick you can go and meet the ball, and you're ready to run the whole distance to return the ball, you definitely lose so much energy, you'll be worn out, and definitely if your opponent is actually a little bit better, you find yourself in a lot of difficult situation because you'll be running like all over the place, not knowing what to actually do, and you find yourself stuck. So always try to return. Always try to return to a little bit closer to the table so you have a chance to actually play the next ball, rather than the ball getting you by surprise and you keep moving all over the place. So that is actually the one step. And one other footwork technique that most players use, which is actually as a result of time as well, time constraint. If you don't have the time to run the whole court, you use the crossover footwork, where basically it sounds a little bit technically not right, but in order to meet up with the ball and to execute your shot properly, you have to cross over your legs to actually do that. And how is that being done? If, for example, we're actually having an exchange, or I serve a service to my opponent's back arm and expecting him to actually return it here, he sends it wide to my forearm. What I have to do at this point, what I do is I cross my left leg over. Instead of shuffling, which I'll actually do about 3 or 4 or 5 shuffles, I cross my right leg over and I play. My left leg acts as a pivot to actually get me to the right position. I execute and I return. Same thing here. I'm actually controlling and it pushes the ball far. I do that, I cross over. The right leg acts as a pivot and I move back to my ready position. I can shuffle back and get ready for the next row. So that is another technique which is used. It's not like used over and over, but once in a while, when you're taken by surprise and you have to react to meet up with time, you do, and you return. Always make sure you return, because that is what is killing most of our game. We play and we get stuck. And you're waiting for the next ball and you keep running and doing all sort of footwork, which definitely is not really good for you, for your advancement. So that is the crossover footwork. And sometimes people do use, people lean at times. The thing is, nothing about footwork is automated. Nobody goes to play a game and say, I will shuffle to the left, shuffle to the right, shuffle backward, shuffle. No, it doesn't work that way. It's not automated. It's actually practice. When you practice those skills over and over, you get used to it that you don't even think. When I'm playing, I don't think about what I'm doing. Someone else might say, oh, he actually did this or he did that. I don't think about what is happening down here. It's automated that I just go with it. There are times I run as well to actually save some balls or to actually play some strokes over the net, but I make sure before I execute, I have complete balance and I can recover from that to my next ready position. No matter how bad I did in order to get there, but my execution should be in such a way that I can recover. Recovery is very, very vital. Recovery is vital because if you don't recover, you get stuck. You can't play the next shot. Your opponent will have a very, very easy game. He makes you run all over the place. So that is the essence about having a good footwork and knowing what you are doing which is not correct. Knowing what you're doing which is not correct and how you can actually change what you're doing which is not correct to actually make it better. Better to advance your game, advance your skills, and make you enjoy the game, because basically I believe all of us play table tennis because we enjoy it, we want to have fun. So doing it the right way definitely will make you enjoy the game more as well. So like I said, it's nothing automated. It's getting to the ball. But the essence is getting to the ball in the right balanced position where you can execute a shot properly and you can return to the ready or anticipated position where you can play the next shot. So that is actually the 3 fundamental footworks that are being used regularly at basic, advanced level. Advanced level actually implement more of speed in that. They move a lot. But basically at the beginner level or intermediate level, we go slowly and we react to the balls properly. But the essence is getting to those balls on time, the ready position where your knees bend, you have a low center of gravity, where you can actually determine what kind of speed, what kind of spin, what kind of effect you want to put on those balls to pose a problem to your opponent, because that is your goal, making him run rather than making you run all over the place. So if we can get those aspects right, knowing that I'm not moving correctly, I don't have to shuffle wide if the ball is not actually running wide. I just have to shuffle a little bit and play the ball. I have to move in and play the ball and return. I don't move in and play and end there. That is another mistake most people do. You move in and you play and you can't return. You get stuck. But you have to always move in and make sure you have stability all through. And stability comes with how your legs are being positioned. If you have stability, you don't fall off. You don't go and execute a shot and you fall off. That's you go quite out of the board and you can't return. If you do that, it means your legs were not actually stable. You just actually did the stroke, and the force you actually put in executing the stroke, it took you to where you actually are. And the same thing goes here. You execute a shot and you fall in instead of having that balance. If I do that, I don't move. If I'm actually doing a top spin, I don't move. I stay on the same spot. If I move, I become destabilized. I can't recover to play the next shot. So I will just do a little bit demonstration if there's someone who want to volunteer. We just knock some balls, like shuffle, if from left to right, who will want to volunteer?
I volunteer first.
Okay. So basically do the shuffle, which is the basic footwork that everyone does. I'll give you. Okay, you do the ones. Yeah, that is good as well. If it actually gets you to the ball and you're stable, it's good. Like I said, there's nothing automated. The essence is getting to the ball on time and you're stable. And you can execute and you don't fall in front or behind or sideways, and anticipate for the next ball and do your one step again. So it's your place to actually place those balls to where your opponent will put them in a position where you just be doing this. But if you don't actually put your opponent in that position, if he's superior than you, you'll be putting it to the angles where you have to go, okay? Yeah. Okay, so I'll one there and one there. So you can do the one, it's okay. But it's just to have that rhythm that you have to recover.
His feet aren't like to begin with, his knees aren't bent.
You see, first, what I just noticed is that your legs are not really a little bit wide open. They're narrow. You have to keep them a little bit open, and your knees bent a little bit, so you have a low center of. You're taller than me, so. Okay, then you move a little, one step. You go the one step to the right, left. Yeah, go. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah. So basically that's it. When you move, you have all the time to actually decide on what you want to do. Either you want to hit it slow, you want to hit it fast, you want to put a top spin, or whatever. So the essence is to move and recover. It doesn't matter how you get to those balls. You can run, but the essence is at that point of execution, you should not fall off. You should not either fall in front or fall to the side or fall backwards. You should be stable so you execute properly, because without stability, the execution will be poor. It might go across and you might fall off, or it might be weak. But if you're stable and you do a proper execution, it's very easy for you to recover and play the next shot. So basically, that is the shuffle, and we can try the one step. in one step as well. You move with, if it's in your forearm, you make sure you move in with your right leg and you return. If it's a short ball, you move in with your left leg and you return. Okay. You see, you were already moving with your right leg there. Yeah. You were already doing that. You have to move, it's going to your backhand, you have to move with your left leg. It's much easier for you to recover. Yeah, so that is it.
Lifetime habit.
You have to move in. It's something you have to, it's a rhythm you have to practice. You move in, you return. You move in, you return. Yes. Go. Okay, let's go again. Take your time. And one thing about practice is that during practice, you should not be scared of losing points. Through losing points, through making constant errors, mistakes, and knowing the good thing, what I always tell players is, know what you're doing wrong. Know what you're doing wrong and try to correct it. Try to use the proper technique. But if you don't know what you're doing wrong, you become frustrated. You actually don't want to, you're discouraged. You don't want to play. You don't even know why are you not sending those balls across? That seems very easy. But if you know what you're doing wrong and you're trying to correct it, you will lose so many balls, lose games. But at the end of the day, you become better because you learn from those mistakes that will make you better. Okay, let's go. Move in. Don't be scared to move in. Move in. You move with your right leg and your left leg. Good. You move in. So see, those are the common those are the common errors that people cross. You do the crossover only when you cannot reach to those balls. Like I explained earlier, if they are going wide and it's far, yes, you can cross over, but you make sure you return. You use your right leg to pivot. For example, if I'm crossing over, I pivot, I'm ready. If I'm crossing over, I'm ready, I return. But I cannot cross over to do this. Oh. It's okay. Yeah, that was good. Okay. Anyway, that's nice. Thanks for actually volunteering. And it's just one of those things that people do without knowing that it's actually not the right technique to do. But in order to get rid of that, you have to keep practicing. Even at home, you can just be doing it without a board or whatever. In, out, just like that. It makes you a little bit better with time. It's not something that will come automatic. Like all of a sudden, today you know what you're not doing right, and tomorrow you're implementing. No, it doesn't work that way. It's constant practice that you find yourself executing those shots that you could not actually do about a couple of months ago or a while ago. So basically, that is it. Do we still have some time? Okay, so can we, is there any other, yes?
So when you're leading, it should be the foot first, in front. So not like me, no way, it should be this way.
Yeah, with a one step for short balls, the left leg, if the ball is going to the left side of the ball, it's better and safer for you to use your left leg to go, and you can easily return without any stress. You don't stress yourself. But if you do this, and the play, your return comes directly here, you have to move this leg first. You can't move this leg easily. You have to move it because the weight is on this leg. You have to move this leg, and you already at that point you're confused. I'm confused if I do that, because I have to do like triple movements before I'm ready to take the next shot. But if I do this, I return. I can easily do this and play directly from there and shuffle like and do that. If I do this, I can return and this leg returns and move, I play here. But if I do this, I'll have to stretch to play the ball from that angle. So it's the footwork, like I said, is something we don't know about. We don't think about it. One of those techniques, one of those potential skills necessary in table tennis that people don't even think about it, but it's the base to actually develop your game, to advance your strokes, and to make you a better player. It begins from your footwork. That's why I always say it's a fundamental, it's a core. People who execute proper shots in table tennis, they do move. They glide all over. You think it's that easy, but it's actually constant and long time practice that gets you to that point. At times they might run, they might do this, but when they are ready to execute, they are stable, they are balanced, and they can send those balls across and recover. But for someone who is not that good, when you run, you stop, you return, and you don't play your shot and you're running. That's another mistake most people do. You play and you're running. No. It becomes weak, has no effect. Your opponent definitely finds it very easy to play because your goal should be reducing the recovery time of your opponent. Give him less time to even think. Give him less time to actually approach those balls in a balanced position to actually put you into trouble. He who moves all over the place, being controlled, end up most of the time losing the game. Especially if you're playing from outside all the time and someone is hitting balls, you're there. Most of the time you end up losing the game. Because if the other guy is a little bit tougher, you give him all options. Play there. Play there, you keep, but if you stay close, he has less options to actually push you from left to right. He has to think before playing a shot. But if you're here, I will not even think. That is an empty space where I have to explore. So I would send the ball there, you return, I don't have to think. But if you're here, I have to think. Can he actually get to that ball with ease? Can he return it from here with ease? Or can he actually lean? Which is another aspect in table tennis. Yes, people lean. If you actually have a ball coming towards you directly, you can lean. You can keep your legs on the same spot. You lean to actually give you space to swing. But it's something which is not practiced all the time. It happens like once in the game where you lean and stretch. But if you can move and if you have the timing right, people who are, say, not really agile, I understand they can stand at one spot and play and do this and play. But if you have the time to move, it's always better to actually move so you have a better swing and you can determine what effect you want to put on your ball. So basically, those are the three fundamental footwork.
Okay. But if it's coming to your stomach, is it better to do the backhand because you're already in front of you?
Yeah, it's much
rather than trying to get out of your own way to hit a forehand.
If it's coming to your stomach, yes, of course. Your backhand
Why would you lean then? Isn't it better to just do a backhand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your backhand is way better. We lean most of the time with our forearm.
Yeah.
We lean most of the time because we need a bigger swing. With your backarm, you don't actually need that.
Just do it.
Yeah, you can still lean with your people who are backhand oriented players. They do lean and do this. You lean and play with your back because you're sure it's more better. You can lean and do that. But with your people use it most of the time. Forehand oriented players, you just turn and you return. But the point is, I always underline is your legs coordinate at the same time. One leg does not actually go and the other leg stays dormant. It actually assists you in your return or in your execution of the shot.
I notice that some advanced players, when they're training backhand, forehand, that they're sort of almost hopping, like in the spot when they're moving. Is there a reason for that? Is that because they're just making sure they're ready for the next?
Yeah, very good question. They call it little steps, getting you ready. Because if most of the time, when I'm playing, for example, my legs are not planted. When my legs and when I'm actually doing those little steps, it facilitates my movement to the next ball. I can easily move to the next ball rather than doing just this. And to me, some people do it and they jump and they play the next shot. It's okay so long as you get there on time, you're stable. But to facilitate your movement, those little steps are also very, very necessary that you talked about. You hop a little bit. It gives you the groove. It gives you the momentum to actually get yourself into the game and play it well. Yeah.
How far away from the table should you be playing? Like you play up close, how far back? What's your distance?
It depends. It depends on the balls that are coming towards you.
Okay. So if you're waiting for serve, for example, how far the table should be?
Definitely, you should be a little about, let's say, 6. I don't stand that far from the table.
Okay.
I just stand where I can actually move in if it's a short ball. I don't stand far. I don't go far because if it's a short serve, how do I get in? My reach will be actually long. But if I'm here and you serve a long service, I can easily move backwards and execute. If I'm here and you serve a short serve, I can flick and return. So you stand at a convenient point for you where you can easily reach for a short ball, and if it's too fast, you can easily move behind and execute. There's no line that you have to be on this line, no.
Okay.
So basically that's it.
And positioning of the table, you tend to stand on the backhand side, or you stand in the middle, right? You stand more to the backhand side?
I'm a forearm-oriented player.
Yeah.
To move to my forearm is much easier. You can move much easier to your forearm than your backhand. So I stand more to my backhand. I can easily do the cross if the ball is that fast and return. But if I stand, I don't like receiving services with my backhand. I'm more comfortable with my forearm. So if I'm here, I can easily pivot and I play there and I return. It's much easier for me, and my forearm, most people, their forearms are more powerful, accurate, and consistent than the backarm. Backarm, use it to actually send balls across, but I make sure I use my forearm to put more effect, speed, control, and accuracy.
Victor, this is very valuable information there. Yeah. So Victor coached me a few sessions, and he kept saying, "Move."
Yeah.
And I
surprised?
think yes, I wasn't surprised because I need to move like a lot of players here. So this is very valuable information that you got today. And what we're going to do, we're going to put the tables back the way they were, and Victor's going to stay a little bit, and he's going to go around. And any more questions that you guys have about moving, footwork, or anything, you feel free to ask to Victor. And again, Victor is coaching here, so if you want any lessons or something like that, come and see us and we can arrange that. So again, thank you so much, Victor, for coming. And we'll announce the next MasterClass shortly. And have fun today. Thank you.
Do I have to take out this one? Oh, I'll leave it on.